Have you ever wondered why Captain America was able to lift Thor's hammer when so many powerful heroes could not? At first glance, the answer seems simple. Maybe he was just strong enough. But if you've watched the Marvel movies closely, you already know that strength has never been the real requirement. In fact, some of the strongest beings in the entire Marvel universe have tried and failed to move Mjolnir even an inch. So if physical power isn't the answer, what is? Today we are diving deep into one of the greatest mysteries in Marvel history. We'll explore the magic behind Mjolnir, the meaning of worthiness, Odin's enchantment, Captain America's character, hidden clues that Marvel planted years before Endgame, and whether anyone else could truly earn the right to wield the legendary hammer. To understand why Captain America succeeded, we first need to understand what Mjolnir really is. Most people think it's simply Thor's weapon, but that isn't entirely true. Mjolnir is far more than a hammer. It is an ancient magical artifact, created with extraordinary craftsmanship and protected by one of the most powerful enchantments ever cast. In the Marvel universe, Mjolnir isn't just designed to destroy enemies. It also judges the heart of the person trying to wield it. Long before the Avengers existed, Odin, the king of Asgard, realized that unlimited power could become dangerous if placed in the wrong hands. Even Thor himself was once arrogant, reckless, and obsessed with proving his strength. He rushed into battles without thinking about the consequences, and believed that power alone made someone worthy to rule. Odin knew that this attitude would eventually lead to disaster. To teach Thor an unforgettable lesson, Odin stripped him of his powers and cast him out of Asgard. At the same time, he placed a powerful enchantment on Mjolnir. His famous words changed the destiny of the hammer forever. From that moment on, only someone truly worthy could lift it and command the power of Thor. But what exactly does worthy mean? That's where the mystery becomes much more interesting. The enchantment never explains a list of rules. It doesn't say you must be the strongest, the smartest, or the bravest. Instead, worthiness seems to be a combination of courage, humility, selflessness, wisdom, honesty, responsibility, and the willingness to sacrifice everything for others without expecting anything in return. This explains why so many powerful characters failed. Incredible strength alone wasn't enough. Great intelligence wasn't enough. Even being a famous hero wasn't enough. Mjolnir wasn't measuring muscles. It was measuring character. When the Avengers first gathered around the hammer during their famous party, everyone treated it like a game. Tony Stark tried technology. Rhodey helped him. Bruce Banner even joked about transforming into the Hulk. None of them could move it. The scene was funny on the surface. But Marvel was quietly teaching the audience an important lesson. Every person in that room had impressive abilities. Yet none of them possessed exactly what the enchantment demanded. Then Captain America stepped forward. Unlike everyone else, he didn't brag. He didn't make a speech. He simply reached for the hammer and tried to lift it. For just a brief moment, Mjolnir moved ever so slightly. Thor's confident smile instantly disappeared. It lasted only a second. But that tiny movement became one of the biggest discussions among Marvel fans for years. Was Captain America already worthy? Or did the hammer simply respond to his pure intentions? Marvel intentionally left the question unanswered, allowing fans to create countless theories. Some believed Steve Rogers had always been worthy but chose not to embarrass Thor by lifting the hammer in front of everyone. Others believed he was close, but had one final lesson left to learn before becoming completely worthy. Years later, Endgame finally gave audiences the answer they had been waiting for years. Fans debated that unforgettable scene. Did the hammer actually move, or was it simply an illusion created by the camera angle? The directors of the films later explained that the moment was intentionally designed to make audiences question everything they thought they knew about Mjolnir. It wasn't just a random joke. It was a clue hiding in plain sight. To understand why that clue mattered so much, we have to look at Steve Rogers long before he became Captain America. Before the super soldier serum transformed his body, Steve was physically weak, small, and often underestimated. He lost fights, struggled to keep up with others, and was told again and again that he wasn't strong enough. But despite all of that, he never stopped standing up for people who couldn't defend themselves. Dr. Abraham Erskine noticed something that everyone else ignored. He wasn't searching for the strongest soldier. He was searching for the best person. During their conversation before the experiment, Erskine explained that strength only makes a good person greater, but it makes a bad person even worse. That lesson became the foundation of Steve's entire journey. After receiving incredible strength, Steve never became arrogant. He didn't fight to prove he was powerful. He fought because innocent people needed someone willing to protect them. Time after time, he risked his own life with no guarantee that he would survive.
He is actually
One of the greatest examples came during World War II. Steve repeatedly volunteered for missions that everyone believed were impossible. He crossed enemy lines to rescue captured soldiers even when military leaders considered the mission a suicide attempt. He didn't do it for medals, fame, or recognition. He simply believed leaving those soldiers behind was the wrong thing to do. Throughout the years,
to me!
Steve continued making impossible choices. He refused to abandon his teammates. He challenged corrupt authority whenever innocent lives were at risk. Even when governments declared him a criminal, he followed his conscience instead of blindly obeying orders. That willingness to sacrifice his own reputation for what he believed was right became one of his defining qualities. Marvel repeatedly showed that Steve Rogers understood power differently from almost every other hero. For him, power wasn't about control. It was about responsibility. Every decision he made reflected that belief. Now compare Steve's personality to the lesson Odin wanted Thor to learn. Thor's greatest weakness in the beginning wasn't his lack of strength. It was his pride. He believed he deserved power simply because he was born into it. Steve Rogers believed the exact opposite. He never thought he deserved anything more than anyone else. If anything, he constantly questioned whether he was doing enough to help people. That difference may be the biggest reason Mjolnir accepted him. The enchantment wasn't looking for perfection. He was looking for someone who understood the burden that comes with great power. By the time the Avengers Endgame arrived, Steve Rogers had spent years proving that lesson over and over again. He had lost friends, sacrificed his own happiness, and carried responsibilities that would have broken most people. Every challenge shaped him to someone who matched the ideals Odin wanted the hammer's wielder to possess. Then came the battle that changed everything. So, was Captain America the only person who could ever lift Mjolnir? The answer is more complicated than most people think. Mjolnir was never searching for the strongest warrior. It was searching for the right person at the right moment. Steve Rogers earned that privilege because every major decision in his life reflected courage, humility, honesty, and self-sacrifice. Time and time again, he chose to protect others even when it meant risking everything he had. Those choices defined him far more than his strength ever could. That's why the moment felt so powerful. It wasn't just a hero lifting a magical hammer. It was the final reward for years of unwavering character. Every sacrifice, every difficult decision, and every act of selflessness led to that single unforgettable moment. Could someone else become worthy in the future? According to the idea behind Mjolnir's enchantment, the answer is yes. Worthiness isn't limited to one person. It isn't determined by power, fame, or status. Anyone who truly possesses the qualities the enchantment demands could, in theory, be accepted by the hammer. And that's what makes Mjolnir so different from every other weapon in the Marvel Universe. It doesn't simply obey its owner. It judges them. Perhaps that's the real lesson behind the story. True strength isn't measured by muscles or victories. It's measured by integrity, responsibility, compassion, and the willingness to stand for what's right even when no one is watching. Captain America didn't become worthy because he was a superhero. He became a superhero because he was already worthy long before anyone recognized him. And maybe that's why, even years after the movie's release, fans still talk about that incredible scene. It wasn't just an action sequence. It was the perfect ending to a journey that began with a young man who refused to back down, no matter how impossible the odds seemed. So what do you think? Was Captain America always worthy, or did he become worthy over time? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more deep dives into your favorite movies and characters. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.